The biggest concern on board a ship is actually fire. It's something which really is a huge concern for everyone on board. Many people maybe think, you know, you are surrounded with the water, you know, so what is the big deal there? But it is. Part of our license is actually advanced firefighting training as well.
Should disaster strike, this area of the ship can be quickly isolated. It's a pristine environment which houses some awesome energy. Freedom is powered by 6 Wärtsilä Diesel 12 V46 generators. The ship is fast, travelling up to 42 kilometers an hour. Freedom's operating costs are huge. In fact, just a small change in her itinerary can cost an enormous amount. But one thing that's beyond even this control room's power is the weather. It hasn't improved, and Freedom is faced with a problem coming into Grand Cayman. The authorities have decided to close the port completely. In order to get to the shore, passengers have to be transported by small tender boats, but the waves are just too big for safety. No one will be leaving the ship today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ken, your cruise director. We will not be going into the port of Grand Cayman due to the high winds and the fact that it would be very unsafe for anybody using the tendering operation. So the port authorities of Grand Cayman have closed their port, and we are going to spend a wonderful day out at sea. So let's make the best of it, everybody.
The day was going to be reasonably quiet for the entertainment staff.
Gotta get up and let's go.
And a good opportunity for the cleaners to spruce things up for the New Year's party.
She's got some right here, so yep.
Many passengers aren't too happy about being stuck out at sea either.
There will be a lot of guests that will be very upset, mad, disappointed. But again, at the end of the day, there's nothing else we can do.
It's just not good enough. Like things to do in Grand Cayman.
Johan had planned to use the time when everyone was off the ship to give his chefs a few hours of well-deserved rest. But now they have to swing into action, preparing meals for everyone on board. There'll be a lot of comfort eating today. The situation isn't helping Robert either. At-sea days usually mean that his alcohol stocks dwindle. He has to plan ahead for times like these.
Here we go. All right, Jill, let's go.
Ken has quickly put together a new plan of action for a day at sea. Now it's time to muster the troops and head for the pool deck. Busy cruisers are happy cruisers.
Hello. Hi there. Am I on TV?
Yes, you are.
Oh, how lovely.
The shopping trip isn't the only flop on Freedom today. Ken's enthusiasm and determination keep most people happy. Freedom's many innovations help to keep everyone's chins up. The H2O theme park is unique, and Freedom was the first ship with cantilevered whirlpools, suspending soakers out over the ocean from the 11th deck. Unlike many cruise ships, all of Freedom's pools are filled with fresh water, 480 tons of it. And all this fresh water comes from Freedom's own desalination plant. Every day, 2,700,000 litres of seawater have the salt extracted by a desalination process. But of course, most of the cruisers don't give this a second thought. Captain Pedersini has managed to steer Freedom clear of the worst of the weather and hopes that the elements will play ball when it comes to New Year's Eve. In spite of the size of the ship, guests do get seasick, and rough weather won't help. Although everyone on Freedom appears unruffled and even rehearsed on the surface, they have to deal with the realities of everything from natural disasters to crime on board. Undercover security staff are part of the plan to combat this, as are robotic cameras and Freedom's own law enforcement people. The security staff prefer to keep their activities low-key and wouldn't be interviewed. In case of emergency evacuation, Freedom is equipped with 30 large lifeboats and 78 inflatable life rafts, strategically placed around the ship.
We train our crew and make sure that they know what to do in the event of an emergency, any kind of accident, whether it is a collision or a fire, something like that.
Dealing with safety and security issues, demanding guests, and living far from home all takes its toll.
It is difficult because, you know, families are far away, and especially during the time of the year where you celebrate, you know, different things with your family, birthdays or different anniversaries.
And understand that it is very difficult, people being away from home, a different environment, having to share a room. Every day is not a great day. And people need to keep that in mind. You need to respect people as human beings.
Yeah, gossip is rife on board, of course, because we have nothing else to think about. So it's all very dramatic sometimes. I think sometimes dealing with my crew is harder than dealing with the guests. You know what I mean? Because the emotions behind it all, and you have to work with each other 24 hours a day. You can't drive home and get away.
Life can be tough if you don't have somebody to share it with. So right now I don't have anybody. I'm single, and you know, I do the joke, I'm single, I'm Ken looking for my Barbie. So very bad. But one day I know I'll find her.
But for now, Barbie is going to have to wait. Negotiating with sister ships for extra supplies can be a real headache for Robert. But when his plans come together, it's all worth it. Transferring supplies at sea is never easy and takes some real organization. Usually it's only once the supplies are safely in the storerooms that Robert can relax. Even on the best managed ships, people sometimes go astray. On one trip, a woman completely missed the boat in Jamaica, leaving her 8-year-old daughter alone on board. Guests are told constantly that the ship will leave at its scheduled time, with or without them. But in this case, there was a problem. The young child couldn't travel without her mother, but Freedom couldn't turn back.
Hello, breach.
After some negotiation, Captain Pedicini finally arranged for the Jamaican port authorities to bring the mother on board using a pilot boat.
If a guest causes us to wait, we then have to speed up, use more fuel. We might be late into the next port of call. We did something very unusual, which was allowing the lady to join us on the pilot boat.
This was a rare exception. Usually, any passengers left behind must find their own way home. But any dramas are soon forgotten, and guests and staff focus once again on cruising.